They told you all nuts are good for you, that they're heart healthy, brain boosting, and packed with good fats. But that's not entirely true. Some nuts truly help your body rebuild strength, balance hormones, and fight muscle loss after 60. Others, however, quietly inflame your joints, slow down muscle recovery, and even accelerate sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle that steals independence from millions of older adults every year. You see, your muscles don't just need protein to grow. They need healthy fats, the kind that power your metabolism, protect your joints, and feed your hormones so your body can stay strong and mobile. But when you choose the wrong nuts, you may actually be working against yourself, eating foods that trigger inflammation, raise cortisol, and block the very signals your body needs to build new muscle tissue. Today, I'm going to show you the truth. The 3 best nuts that fuel muscle growth and energy after 60, and the 3 worst nuts that slowly sabotage your strength and recovery. Some of these may already be in your pantry right now, and you'd never guess how differently they affect your body. If you're serious about staying strong, moving freely, and keeping your independence for years to come, stay until the end, because I'll also reveal the biggest nut-related mistake most seniors make every single day. Before we begin, hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a senior health tip. And in the comments, tell me where you're watching from and what time it is right now. I want to see how far this message has traveled. 1. Macadamia nuts. Let's start with one of the most underrated foods for seniors who want to stay strong: macadamia nuts. They're often called the king of healthy fats, and for good reason. Macadamias are packed with monounsaturated fats and a rare fatty acid called omega-7, which works wonders for hormone balance, joint health, and muscle recovery. Here's the truth most people don't realize. After 60, your body's natural production of anabolic hormones like testosterone and growth hormone begins to slow down. These are the very hormones that tell your muscles to repair, recover, and grow stronger after activity. Without them, you can lift weights, walk daily, and eat plenty of protein, but your muscles won't respond the same way. That's where macadamia nuts make all the difference. Their healthy fats support your endocrine system, the network of glands that regulates hormones, helping your body restore natural balance. They also reduce inflammation, a hidden enemy of muscle building, by replacing bad fats from seed oils and processed snacks with clean, anti-inflammatory energy. A 2022 study followed adults over 65 who added macadamia nuts to their diet for 12 weeks. The results were remarkable. Participants gained more lean muscle mass, had better insulin sensitivity, and showed lower levels of inflammatory markers compared to those who avoided nuts. The researchers concluded that macadamia fats supported hormonal signaling and muscle protein synthesis, especially in older adults. Let me tell you about Richard, a 70-year-old retired engineer from California. He came to me frustrated because despite eating clean and exercising regularly, he felt tired, weak, and constantly sore. He was tracking his calories and protein intake but eating low-fat everything. I suggested he add 1 small handful of macadamia nuts per meal, just 10 to 12 pieces a day. Within a month, Richard noticed his energy return. His recovery improved. His hands stopped aching in the mornings, and by the 3rd month, he had gained noticeable muscle definition around his arms and chest without changing anything else. He told me, "Doctor, I didn't realize I'd been starving my body of the one thing it needed most: healthy fat." That's the power of macadamia nuts. They don't just feed your body, they reignite it. If you want your body to rebuild muscle naturally, you must give it the raw materials it needs: protein and fat. And while macadamias restore your hormones, the next nut helps your brain and muscles stay connected, so every movement feels lighter, sharper, and stronger. If you are still with me and finding this helpful, type the number 1 in the comments so I know you are here. Now, let's move on. 2. Walnuts. The second nut on our list is one you probably already know: walnuts. Most people think of them as brain food, but few realize that their power goes far beyond memory and focus. For seniors, walnuts are one of the most effective foods for muscle coordination, recovery, and strength. Here's why. Walnuts are one of the richest natural sources of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid (ALA). Omega-3 seconds are the ultimate anti-inflammatory nutrients. They calm down joint pain, reduce stiffness, and help blood flow freely through your muscles, delivering oxygen and nutrients exactly where your body needs them to grow stronger. Inflammation is one of the biggest reasons seniors lose muscle faster. When your body is inflamed, it can't recover properly after exercise or daily activity. You may notice soreness that lingers for days, fatigue that doesn't go away, or even a lack of motivation to move. That's your body's way of saying, "I'm inflamed." Walnuts help fight this by lowering the markers of inflammation in the blood, protecting both the brain and the muscles from oxidative stress. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging followed adults over 60 who ate a handful of walnuts every day for 6 months. The results? Participants showed better balance, faster walking speed, and greater grip strength, key signs of functional muscle performance. Researchers found that omega-3 seconds in walnuts enhanced neuromuscular communication, allowing the brain to send clearer signals to the muscles. I once worked with Eleanor, a 75-year-old woman from Ohio. She used to struggle with muscle cramps and mild dizziness during her morning walks. Instead of reaching for supplements, I asked her to add just a handful of walnuts, about 7 halves, to her breakfast oatmeal every day. Within a few weeks, her cramps disappeared, her steps felt lighter, and her memory even improved. She laughed and said, "I thought I was feeding my brain, but I ended up feeding my legs too." That's exactly how walnuts work. They create harmony between your brain and muscles, ensuring every movement feels smoother and more controlled. So, if macadamias rebuild your hormones, walnuts strengthen the communication network between your mind and body. But we're not done yet. The next nut might be the simplest of them all, but it's also the most powerful for recovery, helping your muscles repair faster and stay lean long after you finish exercising. 3. Almonds. Now let's talk about the nut that deserves a permanent spot in every senior's kitchen: almonds. They might look small, but they are one of the most powerful tools for preserving and rebuilding lean muscle after 60. Here's the thing. When you exercise or even perform daily tasks like climbing stairs or lifting groceries, your muscles experience microscopic stress. That's normal. The key to staying strong is how quickly your body can recover from that stress. And that's where almonds shine. Almonds are rich in magnesium, a mineral that fuels your body's energy currency, known as ATP, the molecule responsible for every muscle contraction and repair process. Without enough magnesium, your muscles tire quickly, cramp easily, and take longer to recover. Almonds also contain vitamin E, a potent antioxidant that reduces oxidative stress in your muscle tissue, helping to repair the damage caused by aging and activity. A study in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that adults who consumed almonds daily for 8 weeks experienced better muscle recovery, reduced fatigue, and higher endurance levels compared to those who didn't. For older adults, this means more energy, fewer aches, and a faster bounce back after any physical effort. I remember a patient named Janet Noshaba from Oregon. She came to me complaining that her legs felt weak and sore even after short walks. She was eating plenty of protein but skipping healthy snacks altogether. I asked her to replace her afternoon cookie with a small handful of almonds, about 10 to 12 pieces. After just 3 weeks, she noticed her muscles didn't ache as much, and she could walk farther without feeling drained. 2 months later, she said something I'll never forget. "Doctor, I finally feel like my body's working with me again, not against me." That's what almonds do. They don't just feed your muscles, they protect them. Their balance of protein, healthy fats, and antioxidants helps your body repair faster, keep inflammation low, and maintain a steady energy level throughout the day. So, let's recap this first half. Macadamia nuts balance your hormones and fuel muscle growth. Walnuts connect your brain and body for better coordination. Almonds help you recover faster and stay lean. Together, these 3 create the ultimate foundation for staying strong, active, and independent well into your later years. But now, it's time for a warning. Because just as some nuts rebuild your strength, others quietly tear it apart, inflaming your joints, disrupting your hormones, and weakening your body from the inside out. Let's expose the ones you must avoid at all costs. If you are still with me and finding this helpful, type the number 1 in the comments so I know you are here. Now, let's move on. 1. Cashews. Now, let's talk about the nuts that may look innocent but silently work against your body. The first one, and perhaps the most misleading of all, is cashews. They're smooth, buttery, and often labeled as heart-healthy. You'll find them in every snack aisle and trail mix bag. But here's the truth. For seniors, cashews can quietly damage your kidneys and slow down your body's ability to build and repair muscle. Here's why. Cashews are loaded with oxalates, naturally occurring compounds that bind to calcium in your body. When this happens, they form calcium oxalate crystals, or what most people know as kidney stones. These hard, jagged crystals don't just cause pain, they can reduce kidney function over time. And once your kidneys are compromised, your body's ability to filter waste and balance electrolytes weakens, a process that directly affects muscle recovery and protein metabolism. You see, your kidneys play a silent but vital role in muscle health. They regulate minerals like potassium and magnesium that control muscle contractions. When kidney function drops, these minerals fall out of balance, leading to cramps, fatigue, and slower recovery. That's why even moderate oxalate intake can be risky for adults over 60. Let me share the story of John, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Arizona. John was proud of his healthy habits. Every evening, he replaced dessert with a handful of cashews, thinking he was doing his body a favor. But one morning, he woke up with sharp pain radiating through his lower back. A hospital scan revealed a large kidney stone. After surgery and weeks of recovery, his doctor told him something shocking. The cashews he'd eaten religiously were part of the problem. John told me later, "I thought I was choosing the healthy option. I had no idea I was hurting myself." That's the cruel part. What's marketed as health food can quietly damage you from the inside out. For a younger person with strong kidneys, this might not matter. But for seniors, even small amounts can cause serious trouble. Cashews might taste good, but the risk isn't worth it. They don't build muscle, they block it. And if you think that's bad, wait until you hear about the next nut one that causes inflammation in nearly every person who eats it regularly. and it might already be sitting in your pantry right now. 2. Peanuts. The second nut you must be extremely careful with is one almost everyone has in their home: peanuts. They're cheap, tasty, and often praised as a good source of plant protein. But here's something most people don't know. Peanuts aren't actually nuts at all. They're legumes, belonging to the same family as beans and lentils. And that small detail makes a big difference for your body, especially after 60. Unlike tree nuts, peanuts are prone to contamination by aflatoxins, toxic compounds produced by molds that grow on stored peanuts. These toxins are invisible, tasteless, and nearly impossible to detect. But once they enter your body, they trigger inflammation, oxidative stress, and in severe cases, liver strain. For older adults whose immune systems are slower to respond, that's a disaster waiting to happen. Here's the problem. Inflammation is the enemy of muscle growth. When your body is inflamed, it prioritizes defense and repair over building new muscle. That means all your protein, supplements, and workouts go to waste. You can't grow stronger if your body is constantly fighting internal fires. Peanuts are also extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids, which, in excess, disrupt the delicate balance between omega-3 seconds and omega-6 seconds in your body. This imbalance promotes chronic inflammation in your joints and connective tissues, leaving you sore, stiff, and weak. Let me tell you about Linda, a 9-year-old grandmother from Texas. She started eating 2 tablespoons of peanut butter every morning because she heard it was packed with protein. Within months, she noticed her hands and knees ached more, and she often felt bloated and tired. She thought it was just aging until her doctor tested her inflammation markers. They were through the roof. I asked Linda to eliminate peanuts and switch to walnut butter instead, rich in omega-3 seconds. Within 3 weeks, her pain and swelling reduced significantly. 3 months later, her blood tests showed improved inflammation levels, and she even began strength training again without pain. The truth is simple. The peanuts belong nowhere near a senior's diet if your goal is to protect your muscles and joints. The inflammation they cause may not be visible, but it eats away at your strength over time. So, if you've been spreading peanut butter on toast, thinking it's helping you stay strong, think again. It's time to switch to real nuts that heal, not harm. And if you think peanuts are bad, the next one might shock you because it hides behind sugar, looks harmless, and yet destroys your progress faster than any other. If you are still with me and finding this helpful, type the number 1 in the comments so I know you are here. Now, let's move on. 3. Candied and flavored nuts. The third and final type of nut you must avoid at all costs is the one that looks the most innocent: candied or flavored nuts. You've seen them everywhere. Honey-roasted almonds, caramel pecans, chocolate-covered cashews, or sweet chili peanuts. They look delicious, smell amazing, and are marketed as better snacks than chips or candy. But here's the ugly truth. These sugary, flavored nuts are nothing more than desserts in disguise, and they're quietly destroying your muscle health from the inside out. When you coat nuts in sugar, syrup, or artificial flavorings, you completely erase their natural benefits. The sugar spikes your blood glucose, which causes your body to release large amounts of insulin. While insulin in small doses helps muscles absorb nutrients, too much of it, especially from refined sugar, leads to insulin resistance. That means your muscles stop responding properly to insulin's signal to build and repair. Instead of turning nutrients into strength, your body turns them into fat. Worse yet, frequent sugar spikes raise your cortisol, the stress hormone that breaks down muscle tissue. High cortisol levels keep your body in a catabolic state, meaning it burns muscle for energy rather than fat. Over time, this leads to weaker limbs, flabbier skin, and slower recovery. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 63-year-old woman from Florida. She had been following a strict exercise routine for months: resistance bands, light weights, daily walks. But her body wasn't changing. She still felt bloated and soft around her stomach. When I asked about her diet, she proudly said, "I gave up chocolate bars. Now I snack on caramel almonds." When we checked the label, her healthy snack had nearly 18 grams of sugar per serving, more than some candy bars. Once she cut them out and switched to plain almonds, her results were dramatic. Within 8 weeks, she lost 7 pounds of belly fat. Her muscles felt firmer, and her energy skyrocketed. The problem isn't the nut itself, it's what's been done to it. When you roast nuts in vegetable oil and coat them with sugar, you transform a natural, muscle-friendly food into a metabolic bomb. So, here's the rule. If a nut comes shiny, sticky, or flavored, it's not food. It's marketing. Avoid it. Choose plain, raw, or lightly toasted nuts with zero added sugar or oil. Because the moment you remove these sugary imposters, your metabolism resets, inflammation drops, and your muscles finally get the clean fuel they've been waiting for. Now, let's wrap up everything we've learned with a powerful reminder. The right nuts can rebuild your body, but the wrong ones can quietly take it apart. So, now you know the truth. Not all nuts are created equal. Some are nature's medicine, rebuilding your strength one handful at a time. Others are silent saboteurs, inflaming your body and tearing down the muscles you've worked so hard to protect. Let's recap. The 3 best nuts to support your muscles after 60 are macadamia nuts, walnuts, and almonds. Macadamias balance your hormones and reignite muscle growth by giving your body the healthy fats it craves. Walnuts strengthen the communication between your brain and muscles, improving coordination, balance, and endurance. And almonds protect your lean muscle by speeding up recovery, fighting fatigue, and keeping you energized all day. But on the other side, the 3 worst nuts: cashews, peanuts, and candied or flavored nuts quietly destroy what the good ones build. Cashews can overload your kidneys with oxalates, slowing your body's ability to process nutrients. Peanuts trigger inflammation, making it harder for your muscles to grow. And those sweet, shiny, flavored nuts, they flood your body with sugar and cortisol, leaving your muscles weaker every week. The lesson here is simple but powerful. After 60, food is no longer just food, it's information. Every bite sends a message to your body. The right fats tell your muscles to grow and repair. The wrong ones tell your body to store fat, feel tired, and break down faster. So choose wisely. Replace peanut butter with macadamia or walnut butter. Swap salted or sugary snacks for a handful of raw almonds. These small decisions, repeated daily, they don't just change your diet, they change your destiny. Because staying strong after 60 isn't about lifting heavy weights or following strict diets. It's about fueling your body with foods that heal, restore, and protect. Your muscles are still listening. You just have to give them the right message. If you're ready to rebuild your strength naturally, comment strong below and let me know which nut you'll start adding to your diet today. And before you go, don't miss my next video. 3. Cooking oils you must stop using before they destroy your joints and heart. Until then, stay strong, stay independent, and remember, age doesn't take your power, neglect does. Choose the right foods, and your body will reward you with energy, strength, and freedom every single day.